Well, the news keeps on coming. I know a lot of you are very happy. I am not so much. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Believers Talk. My name is Joe, and welcome to this live edition of Believers Talk as we get ready for the game tomorrow between our Buffalo Bills and the Indianapolis Colts, less than 24 hours away. In fact, 24 hours from now, we might know who actually won the game between the Buffalo Bills and the Indianapolis Colts. Again, guys, thank you for joining me. My name is Joe. If you're new to this channel, guys, please be sure to hit that subscribe button for continual Buffalo Bills and Buffalo sports news. Hey, Kevin, glad to see you in the chat. Also, while you're here, make sure you hit that thumbs up button, like this video, and leave a comment. Let me know what you think about the news, about the All-Pros and the Buffalo Bills who made All-Pro teams, and also about Duke Williams. Duke Williams obviously played a little bit for the Bills last year. Hey, Apex. Hey, Uzi T. Glad to see you guys in the chat. But some big breaking news for the Buffalo Bills. And I don't know where to start. I don't know if I want to start. Hey, Chris Spencer. Glad to see you in the chat as well. I don't know if I want to start with the good news and the All-Pros or the news that leaves me scratching my head. Still a little uncertain about the Duke Williams news. So we can definitely start there. Now, Duke Williams, for those who don't know, which most of you do, and in fact, Duke Williams is actually one of the fan favorites when it comes to Buffalo Bills who are on the practice squad. But we really haven't seen him much. Corey asks, is Diggs good to go? We will see. I'll talk a little bit about that. According to Diggs, he is. According to McDermott, he's not. So we'll talk about that a little bit. But So Apex says, I bet Duke and the OL won't be active. According to sources, like I looked at Matt Perino and on Twitter, and they all think he's going to be active for tomorrow's game, and that makes you worry a little bit about the wide receiving core. Now, I'm not sure what Duke Williams and Cole Beasley have in common as far as skill set. I feel like Cole Beasley's skill set is different, but I also feel like Cole Beasley's skill set is definitely a unique skill set. He is a different type of slot receiver. Cole Beasley, and we're talking about All-Pros. Cole Beasley was a second-team All-Pro this season in the NFL. And then you also think about Cole Beasley, breaking career highs in receptions and receiving yards. Almost got over 1,000. I'm sure if he would have played Week 17, the Buffalo Bills would have done everything they could to get him over that 1,000 mark for the season. Cole Beasley is playing, and we traded for Stills for Kenny Stills for Devontae Adams. I don't think that's true. I don't think we got Adams on this team, but if we do, I'll be very happy. And I think the trade deadline's over too, so it's gonna be a problem. Diggs is hurt. He suffered an oblique injury last Sunday against the Miami Dolphins. But again, according to Stephon Diggs, he's good to go. But we all know Coach McDermott. He's always going to keep things close to the chest, right? He's never going to lay his hand out until he's forced to. So we'll find out tomorrow if Diggs is playing or not. I'm pretty sure we're going to see Diggs playing tomorrow. The question now is just simply Cole Beasley. Will Cole Beasley be playing tomorrow? If he was going to be active, he would have played last week to get some reps. And that's kind of the shocking thing. Like, you think about what the Buffalo Bills, they signed Kenny Stills on Monday, and they have him on the practice squad. Well, why did you sign him if you were going to bring up Duke Williams from the practice squad? It just doesn't make sense. Now, there are some, and I can see this part as well, that Kenny Stills still hasn't learned the playbook, and they're still not sure how much Kenny Stills has had time to catch balls from Josh Allen. We know that Duke Williams has caught balls from Josh Allen, not only during practice squad time this year, but you look at last year. Last year, Duke Williams did play in that playoff game. And, there are some people who say he had a good game. I'm not one of those people. But if you look at his receiving from last year, he had 4 targets, 49 yards, 12.3 yards per reception. That big drop in the end zone or close to the end zone, which really could have given the Bills the win. Hit that like button, says Bob. Absolutely, guys. Cam will be signed for later in playoff run. He needs a little more time to get adjusted. I like the move. We then activate Stills next week. And that's my thinking, too. Stills will be activated in the divisional round. But if we don't make it to the divisional round, then Kenny Stills will be gone without even playing for the Buffalo Bills. And so it will seem like a wasted move. But at the same time, you keep him away from other playoff teams as well, if that's a concern of yours when you go down the AFC lineup and say, hey, let's keep him away from the Indianapolis Colts, for example. If they were looking for wide receiver depth right before the playoffs, then maybe it was a chess move, right? You move a piece, you sign him so that way no one else can. Don't make me have PTSD about that game. Watch Tommy Maddox throw the ball back in the day. They said he had a strong arm. He looks like Matt Barkley throwing the ball. Williams playing tomorrow. Corey Duke Williams has been brought up from the practice squad. So he's part of the 53-man roster right now. As was mentioned earlier, we're still not sure if he will be active for the game tomorrow. If you look at Matt Parino's Twitter page, they feel like he might have a Kumaro type role in the game tomorrow. Again, remember Jake Kumaro played a couple games for the Bills, but wasn't out there all that much, right? He had the one catch for the touchdown in his last game for the Buffalo Bills, but not out there that much. So I expect, if anything, I would expect the same thing from Duke Williams. You're not going to see Duke Williams on the field as much as you saw him on the field in that Texans game. Because, again, this is the first time Duke Williams has been on the 53-man roster this whole season. So it's a very interesting time to make such a move. Could Duke be in for a height red zone advantage? I don't get it if Diggs and Beasley are all right, or maybe he's insurance in case of an injury during the game. And you know, what about the O-lineman also? So there was also an O-lineman, but we've seen the Buffalo Bills add O-line depth throughout the season, right? We've seen them bring in players throughout the season at O-line. Maybe they're going to run some heavy O-line sets because, guys, let's think about one thing here. This Indianapolis Colts team does not have a good defense against the rush. I think they've given up the second most rushing yards this season. I'm still of the belief that the Buffalo Bills, if needed, can run the ball. And the playoffs are the time where you need to know how to run the ball. So I'm not surprised that they bring in some offensive line depth as well to maybe be able to rotate and maybe you know, we talk about Jordan Devy. Maybe he's a better run blocker than some of the other offensive linemen we have in there. And so maybe that's why you bring him in. I think there's Apex says Diggs is doing fine. Ray Dizzy, Stephon Diggs says that Diggs is doing fine. Whenever, so Stephon Diggs the other day had a media appearance and they asked him how his oblique. And he said, don't read everything, or don't believe everything you read. And he talked about how he feels good. And again, I think Coach McDermott is just trying to play things close to the vest, right? Not trying to give up too much information that he doesn't have to. You see what he's doing with Cole Beasley, right? We're not sure if Cole Beasley's ready to go or not. And so I think he wanted that same type of effect with Stephon Diggs, just to not give the Colts the knowledge that, hey, Stephon Diggs is playing. Although if you're the Colts, you have to go into this game expecting Stephon Diggs, expecting Cole Beasley to play in this game. Players aren't always realistic about their injuries. No, they always feel like they want to play. Is Antonio Williams playing tomorrow? Sorry, that's what I meant earlier. Oh, Antonio Williams. There was no news about him playing tomorrow. I would not expect him to play tomorrow. The only way, and I said this during our Week 17 play-by-play reaction video, the only way I would expect Antonio Williams to play tomorrow is if he can fill the Tywan Jones role of special teams. Remember, the only reason why Antonio Williams played last week was because they sat Tywan Jones. The Buffalo Bills have no indication that they're going to sit Devin Singletary or Zach Moss. And to be honest, I think last week, if that game mattered, you would have seen more Zach Moss and Devin Singletary in the second half and not as much Antonio Williams. I do not expect to see Antonio Williams play in tomorrow's game. However, he is still part of the 53-man roster, so it's very possible. But I believe that he will go back down to the practice squad. It was nice to see him in for that Week 17 matchup. He did a great job, and I look forward to seeing him hopefully in training camp next year to see if he can continue to impress, and maybe there's a rough spot for him next year. I think it's going to be very interesting between him and the other running back. Who am I talking about? The guy from Europe who came over after playing Christian Wade. I think that there'll be a competition there for those two. He was beast. That boy runs with purpose. I wouldn't mind giving him some rushes. And again, it's very possible that the Buffalo Bills run 3 running backs out there who we know can play because, you know, again, the Colts are weak against the run. So it's very possible that that happens. But one thing I want to talk about is Duke Williams was activated. He was elevated from the practice squad. From the practice squad to the active roster, both him and Jordan Devy. So we could see both of them in the game tomorrow. I just think it will be in limited roles, especially for Duke Williams. I know a lot of people are Duke Williams fans. Listen, if Duke Williams was impressive, if Duke Williams was doing well, he would have played earlier this season. He would have played last week, in fact. Truth is, he didn't. So I don't expect to see much out of Duke Williams in this game. Again, you talk about Matt Parino talking about maybe having a Jake Kumaro type opportunity in this game, but we'll see what happens we'll see what happens. Just watch DeForest Buckner and Darius Leonard. We know that defense is going to be tough for Indianapolis, and we know that they're trying to get that motivation going, right? They're trying to get that edge. I think it was DeForest Buckner. No, it was Darius Leonard who talked about how he doesn't want to lose to a team that picked a linebacker, Tremaine Edmunds, before he was picked in the draft. You saw him retweet about the Buffalo Bills dancing during practice, just to try to get a little motivation. And, you expect teams to do that come playoff time. The Buffalo Bills were not meaning to disrespect the Colts. They're meaning to stay relaxed, but that's not going to be the message in the Indianapolis Colts locker room tomorrow. The message is going to be they're taking us lightly. Look at them dancing in practice. So, and listen, every team does the same thing. We did with Juju pregame. Juju didn't mean any disrespect when he was on our logo. He was doing it for TikTok, which he always does. But that's not the message that Josh Allen gave to the players in the locker room right before they came out for the game. So I expect the same thing from the Colts. Being interesting to see how the Colts come out tomorrow. Frank Reich Barron not make me mad, basically, says Mark McKinney. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens there. But let's talk about the All-Pros. The Buffalo Bills had a few All-Pros announced today by the NFL, and none more than the first-team All-Pro, Stephon Diggs. The Buffalo Bills only had one first-team All-Pro on offense, defense, and special teams, and that was Stephon Diggs, one of the wide receivers, along with Devontae Adams and Tyreek Hill. You look at the first-team quarterback, it's Aaron Rodgers. I know there's been some debate about Aaron Rodgers or Josh Allen as far as MVP. Well, if the NFL first-team All-Pros are any indication, obviously they like Aaron Rodgers a little bit more than Josh Allen. You look at the defense, really, I'm a little surprised to not see Tre'Davious White as a first-team All-Pro again. But when you look at who is there, you look at Xavier Howard. 10 interceptions this season. You can't say anything bad about that. Jalen Ramsey, always a beast playing for the Rams. So you see one AFC, one NFC. And I think you don't want to knock the season that Trey White's had. 5 takeaways this year, leads the team, has done a great job. But Xavier Howard has had an amazing season. And with 10 interceptions, you just can't deny that he deserves that first-team All-Pro nod. However, Tre'Davious White was named to the second All-Pro team, along with a few other Buffalo Bills. So Josh Allen was named to the second All-Pro team. He ties with Patrick Mahomes as far as voting goes. So to see that Josh Allen is getting that respect, is getting that nod, tie Patrick Mahomes in All-Pro votes, that means you're doing something right. Ramsey got lit by Josh in week 2. He did, and I hope that if we play him again in February, he gets lit again. I'm surprised that we don't see we see Cole Beasley. Speaking of offense, we see Cole Beasley in there as well. He tied with DK Metcalf with All-Pro votes as well. A little surprised we don't see Tremaine Edmunds in for the linebackers. I think that Tremaine Edmunds had a better season than, let's say, Roquan Smith. But at the same time, I'd be more surprised that Poyer did not make it in as well. Sorry, brain freeze for a second. But Tre'Davious White was a second-team All-Pro. So was Andre Roberts, who, again, might surprise me that he's not first-team All-Pro. But, hey, those are the things that happen. And then also Josh Allen, second-team All-Pro. So we have 3 second-team All-Pros, 1 first-team All-Pro. That's Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs leading the league in both receptions and receiving yards. He is the first Buffalo Bill wide receiver to be a first-team All-Pro. When you think about the Buffalo Bills' history, you think about Andre Reed, you think about Don Beebe, you think about James Lofton, you think about some of those great wide receivers from back in the day, even Eric Mould, Steve Johnson, some of the good ones more recently. So to know that he is the first wide receiver to get first-team All-Pro nod, that's pretty impressive and something to be happy about. And so congratulations to him. Trey White was second team. Thought he'd be first. Again, when Xavier Howard has 10 interceptions, it's hard to knock him off that pedestal. And so you kind of saw that one coming. But yeah, we'll see what happens. See some score predictions for tomorrow's game. Guys, don't forget to join me tomorrow live, probably around 12:45 Eastern time, as I go live for live play-by-play and reaction to the game between our Buffalo Bills and the Indianapolis Colts. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm supposed to be sleeping right now, getting ready to go to work. I can't. I've been excited all week. This week has gone by so slowly, just waiting for this game. And I look forward to calling it. I look forward to hanging out with Bills Mafia. So If you're new, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, like this video, leave a comment. What do you think about the All-Pro scenarios? Again, I thought maybe Hyde should have been listed as maybe a second-team All-Pro. Jermaine Edmonds maybe should have been listed as a second-team All-Pro. You could argue Trey White as a first-team All-Pro over Jalen Ramsey, but I think the NFL, the way they like to do it is have one AFC, one NFC, so we will see what happens. Corey says 44-17 Bills, would love to see that. Who was on the opposite side of X? That would have been Jalen Ramsey. Like I said, though, I think the NFL, the way they like to do it is have one guy from the AFC, one guy from the NFC. You look at the second All-Pro team, you have Jair Alexander from Green Bay alongside Tre'Davious White. So we'll see. Chris Spencer, so Ramsey, and you can't really argue that. You can definitely make a case that Trey White had a better season than Ramsey. But at the same time, again, if the NFL's going one AFC, one NFC, it makes sense. And, we got Stephon Diggs, and we're very proud of that. Again, Stephon Diggs saying that he is healthy. So, and this was talked about earlier by one of the commenters, is this an issue of Stephon Diggs not being fully honest about how healthy he feels and just going to put him some, I'm healthy, I'm fine? Or is this Sean McDermott, Coach McDermott, playing things close to the vest? You can see it going both ways. We'll find out for sure tomorrow. Again, I would be shocked if Stephon Diggs does not play in this game. But you'll see John Brown in there. John Brown, I thought he had an impressive week 17, getting that touchdown against Xavier Howard. I think that you'll see Gabe Davis, obviously. Gabe Davis with an impressive rookie year in the league. So we will see what happens. Duke has some good hands. He does. And Mark is saying he is a safety net, and I hope that's all he is. And the Buffalo Bills can cruise to victory tomorrow. Maybe we'll see him in the second half because we're playing some bench guys just to give him some reps. We'll see what happens. And again, I don't disagree with May in the chat room. I think this would be the last game we see Duke Williams active. Expect to see Kenny Stills active if we make it any further into the divisional/championship game in the next coming weeks. But I look forward to watching it with you guys. Again, make sure if you haven't subscribed, you hit that subscribe button, like this video. Stephon Diggs, an All-Pro. You got Cole Beasley, Josh Allen, and Andre Roberts, second-team All-Pro, and Duke Williams has been activated. Him and the offensive lineman, give me a second, I'll get his name again. Offensive lineman, Jordan Devy has been activated as well. So those are or elevated, I should say, from the practice squad up to the active 53-man active roster. So those are the moves. We'll see what happens tomorrow as far as the active roster. But join me right here, like I said, half an hour before kickoff. So if kickoff's at 1:05, join me at 12:35 for the game tomorrow between our Buffalo Bills and the Indianapolis Colts. I look forward to it. I hope you guys do too. I'll see y'all then. Again, if you haven't hit the surprise pop up on YouTube for me, nothing, man. So Duke Williams was elevated from the practice squad to the active roster for the Buffalo Bills, and just talking about the All-Pro, Stephon Diggs, first-team All-Pro, Beasley, Allen, and Andre Roberts, second-team All-Pro. So that's it. Just a quick update. Looking forward to tomorrow. Can't sleep. And so I thought I'd get on here and join you guys just to talk about Let's Go Buffalo. Absolutely. Bills Mafia. Again, join me tomorrow. I look forward to calling the game. I look forward to hanging out with you guys. I look forward to talking to y'all soon. Until I do, go Bills.